Welcome back, folks. Back to the Thug Jitsu Master and Squid Show. And we
Holler.
got my man, Jeremy, Lil Heathen Stevens on the line. What's up, Jeremy? How you living?
Good, man. Living good, man. The skinny life.
I see that. I see when you move down to 145. I was like, I don't know how that dude could get down to 145, but if he takes his power down there with him, holy shit, those guys are in trouble. And some people have tasted it. And now we get to enjoy it with you and Duho Choi because this fight, I don't know if it's exciting for you as it is for me as a fight fan at this point, but this is one of those fights you really look forward to, man. How you feeling going into this one?
Yeah, I feel the same way. I'm actually excited myself to get in there with somebody who is like-minded, likes to get in there and stand up and create exciting fights. So this is an exciting fight for myself. I don't need much motivation to get up every day and train. I know this kid. He's a young, hungry kid. He's exciting, and this is what I want. This is what the fans want, and everybody's gonna make good out of this fight.
You've been in the UFC. This is going to be your 27th, I think, fight inside the octagon. This will be his fifth. What do you feel those advantages you have from having that much more experience in there going into this one?
Yeah, you just said it, and you look at all them 27 guys, probably 23 to 25 of those guys are pretty much all top guys. I fought the best in the world. I've lost like close decisions to former champs and champions. I've beaten former champions, and I've been in there with the best of the best since I was 21. That's one thing you cannot take away is the experience inside that octagon. I've been in main events before. Like I said, I fought the best before, and this is just business as usual for me. And I'm excited to go in there. I have a great fight. I have a great opponent ahead, and I can't wait to get in there and put a whooping on this boy.
Man, of those 26 UFC fights that you have, we were looking at your record yesterday. The names that are on there, every name on your record is somebody that would be in a who's who of anybody's list. We're talking about Marcus Davis, RDA, Gleason Tebow, Dean Thomas. You fought everybody in the octagon, and everybody that you fought was proven. Even when you were first coming up, I mean, was Dean your first fight? Dean Thomas, was that your first fight in the octagon?
Yeah, my very first fight in the UFC, and on my 21st birthday in Las Vegas. So I mean, this is definitely fate. There's just something about me. I was born and destined to do this. I really feel like all those fights have led me up to this point. The experience is something you can never take back. And I've kind of grown up inside the octagon, and people have got a chance to see that. But right now, I'm really feeling the well-roundedness of my skills, the veteranism. Everything's really just taking place. I got a great mind. I'm back with my alliance, my team, my coaches, and I couldn't feel better. I couldn't be better right now. And I'm really looking forward to next week.
Now you've fought in a few main events, some few fight night main events. What does this one mean to you? Because I think this is your fourth main event? I'm sorry.
This is my third time
main event.
The first one I took on like 12, 14 days notice against Joe Lazan, and then my second one was against Cub Swanson. That was a razor hair fight. I lost just a decision, but the decision and everything, the loss was a learning experience, and now I get to go in there with a great opponent and run it back, and I get a chance to make those adjustments, make those changes inside that 25 minutes inside that octagon, and I get to go in there and perform and showcase how I come back from losses, how I rise to the occasion, and where I'm at this point in my career.
So is the game plan for this fight to stand and bang with Duhor, or you intend on mixing it up with him, or because his ground doesn't look as sharp as his stand-up, obviously?
Like GSP said, I'll do what I want, when I want, how I want, and that's that. The game plan always beat the fucking shit out of this dude. That's always the game plan. Take him out at all costs. Everybody likes to say, "Oh, Jeremy Stevens, he's a knockout artist." I'm choosing for something different. I want to make this guy quit in between rounds on the stool. I want to make him not even want to be in there with me, that I'm at a whole other level. I want this guy to verbally quit and just not even be able to get up from his stool and to say, I quit, I'm done. That's my goal this camp. And I'm going to do what I want, when I want, how I want. I know he's a very dangerous guy, and that keeps me on my toes. It's going to keep me very sharp for this fight, and you're going to see the best Jeremy Stevens you've ever seen.
Now, Jeremy, you have a lot of fights in the UFC. You have 26 fights so far. You don't stay in the octagon that long without having a high fight IQ. You share an opponent with this guy in Cub Swanson. Watching the tape of Cub Swanson and being in there with Cub yourself, is there anything that you can take from that fight and look at and say, well, these things I know are going to exist and I'll be able to capitalize on, but these things I'm going to have to watch out for?
Yeah, most definitely. Without giving anything away, I definitely seen some things that Cub was doing really well that I feel like I do better at. There's some things that Cub wasn't doing, and where I'm a little bit sharper in defensive wise. You're going to see a lot of good offense from me. You're going to see sharp defense, like you said. Fight IQ is going to be in my experience and in my favor, and I plan on utilizing that and going in there and handling it.
What is the cut to 45 like for you? Because fighting at 55, you weren't a small 55er. Fighting at 45, what is that cut like? Of course, any cut is not fun, but how much more miserable is it?
At the beginning when I was using IVs, it was actually a little bit more miserable. Now that the IVs are taken away, I've implemented a few things into my program, into my training regimen that I wasn't doing back at 55, that I wasn't really doing at the beginning of my career at 45. And my cardio is better than ever. And each time I stepped in the octagon, it's a new me. And that's for real. I grow every time that I get in there. And these cuts are getting easier and easier. I'm actually really great on my weight right now. I'm going to have a fantastic weight cut, and then go in there. It's gonna allow me to hydrate a lot quicker without having to be real slow and cautious, because my stomach can withstand. It's not so beat up and drawn out as I used to be. That allows me another 2-3 hours to hydrate properly and get better. So it's all into my favor. These cuts are getting better, and it is what it is, man. I enjoy the process. One day when I'm 50 years old, I'll be missing the weight cut part.
I've noticed also now that you moved down to 45, we share the octagon. I felt the power. It's stuff that you definitely want to stay away from, but you've moved down to 45 and you seem to have kept the power, but you put boxing combinations together better. Your striking has gotten better. Who do you credit that to?
Well, while we're at it, I'll just go ahead and credit that to you, Eves. You're the first guy to ever knock me out. I was in a situation that had me to, fight for my family and things like that. And it is what it is. I got knocked out by you, and once that happened, I learned head movement. I started moving my head. I realized I wasn't invincible inside the octagon as I used to feel. Guys couldn't withstand my power. I still have a great chin. Now I'm utilizing head movement. Now I'm utilizing more footwork that you're seeing. I'm more diverse. It's opened my game. To have that many fights and to be inside the octagon, you have to grow, you have to evolve, you have to adapt. There's so many new young hungry kids coming in, and there's just so much talent these days. If you don't grow, if you don't evolve, you're as good as dead. So I'm always watering the flower that's still growing, and it's amazing. It's a good learning experience. Like I said, I learn from my losses, and as I do as my wins. So everything's just getting better, and it's the wisdom.
Man, you flatter me with that. I take that as a compliment. I was all inside. I was trying to keep a straight face, but you probably saw me turn purple because inside I was like, he said it's because of me. But bro, I promise you, it's because of that power. The reason why I got my head out of the way is because I didn't want to get hit by you. I had my hands up once. You hit my hands, and I was like, yeah, I don't like that. So I'm glad you're able to take that power down there, but also with the technique that you've developed, your boxing is cleaner, it's more crisp, you put combinations together well, and I'm really looking forward to this fight for those reasons. The striking game in this fight, it should be really explosive. Both guys have power, both guys are pretty quick, and both guys are real confident on their feet. So, that's what makes for an exciting fight in my eyes. Two guys that have a strength that is similar, and they have the confidence in it too.
Yep, I couldn't say it better. At this point in my career, I like these exciting fights. I like the fact that the UFC's putting confidence in this kid. They're putting confidence in me to go in there and give you guys a show. Everybody's pumped up. My family's pumped up. I'm pumped up. I'm sure he's pumped up. And you guys know what you're going to get. And you're going to get a savage dogfight with the guys like me and him. He doesn't go down easy, and I don't go down very easy as well. So it makes for a great fight and entertainment for everybody and the fans.
And to say that you have so much experience We make it sound like you're the old guy in this fight, but you're still really young yourself, Jeremy. How many more years you see yourself doing this?
Shit, man. If I could rock it to the wheels fall off like Dan Henderson, to be honest, I'm at a point where I really love doing what I do. I look at you. I've seen the career that you had. You're doing the analyst thing now, and you're enjoying yourself, and you're making good for your family. That's amazing. But I still want to do what I love to do as long as I can do it. If I'm going in there and I'm getting injured and I'm getting knocked out, I definitely want to call it quits to just so that I have health. Health to me is the number one priority. With God, air, water, food, health is on my top 5 list of things. But I'm happy. I love what I do. I'm very passionate about this. If I can still be healthy and going in there and putting on great performances when I'm 40 and still getting better, and still able to knock guys out, why not? I'll be making a shit ton of money by then. I'm at a point right now where I'm making some good money in my career. I'm able to provide for my family really well at this point, and it's comforting. All these years of hard work has built me up to this. And not only that, all that shit aside, that none of that matters. This fight has my full 100% focus, and if I can still do it when I'm 40 years old, then so be it. I'll be here still talking to you.
Well, if you can still do it at 40 years old, man, they say power is the last thing to go, and you got a lot of it. So just keep cracking. You know what I mean?
I hope so, man.
So with this fight being a 5-rounder, I know have you done many 5-rounders? No, you haven't, right? You've done 2 other ones?
Yeah, you know what? Actually, before this fight, we were hitting pads and we were training like we were going to fight in 5 rounds because I told my coaches and sat down and talked to them. I said, hey, look, if anybody backs out of there, me and this kid are going to be the main event. So once I got the main event, I wasn't even surprised. I was like, cool, this is what we've been training for. If you look back at my past like 4 or 5 fights, my cardio does not fade. I keep getting better, and with the more experience, I'm a lot more relaxed. I'm a lot more focused. My cardio is through the roof. I mean, I could like Khabib said, I could fight one night, give me 30-minute rest, and I could fight again. My cardio is amazing right now, and it's just getting better with age. I feel like that's going to be Duho or Duhu, whatever. That's going to be his downfall. He hasn't been in there with an experienced veteran like me, a savage motherfucker like me, and somebody who has cardio to keep banging on you for the 25, 30, 40. I mean, I can go all night. You might as well not even put a time limit in there.
Yeah, that was the glaring weakness we saw. Well, at least I saw. We rewatched his fight with Cub Swanson, and he was exhausted in the 3rd round. It was obviously a very high-paced fight, but he was. It didn't look like he could fight 2 more rounds if he was completely spent. And then we watched your fight with Holloway, and we're like, I think cardio is going to be the thing that really stands out here. That I think you guys will clash, but you can push the pace in those later rounds, 3, 4, and 5. I think you'll really stand out.
Just my last fight, I outthrew any punches. My past couple fights, like I said, with the IVs, taken into certain regimens that I've been training and strength conditioning wise. I've been upping my volume. I threw more punches in my last fight than I ever have, and I'm getting older, and that's not slowing me down. It's the way I'm training, what I'm doing every day in, day out. You're not gonna outwork me, and I keep throwing, and I have that power to keep banging. Like you said, it's the last thing to go out. But when you add that with volume, skills, preciseness, he's an in and out guy. I move all over the damn place. I'm hitting you high, I'm hitting you low. You don't just gotta worry about my right hand. You gotta worry about my shins, going on your hairline. You gotta worry about your legs, your body. There's just multiple things that I'm coming from so many different angles that when he's in there, he's going to be thinking that he's getting a gang beating him up. So, the cardio, I'm not worried about it. I'm actually excited. The 5 rounds plays into my advantage, and I'm looking forward to it.
How much different is it training for a 5-round fight versus a 3-round fight now?
Still a fight, man. It's still It doesn't matter, it's like a playground. You bump in, you have some words with another younger student, you guys just start fighting. I ain't worried about no rounds. I ain't worried about this and that. I've had fights in quick. I've had fights go long. What we do is we do prepare ourselves to go the distance. We train to finish within those 25 minutes, and we're prepared to go the distance if it does. And, if not, then that's more money in my pocket.
Now, being down there at Alliance, do you ever take advantage of having a guy like Dominic Cruz to do some video breakdown with you? Is that something you do, or you and Miles? I know you and Miles are pretty tight. Miles Jury, who
Yep.
helps you with your video breakdowns?
The coaches, I try not to watch too much videos. I'll watch little highlights, get a feel of and tendencies, what they like to do. The coaches break down, and then, I just show up and go to work. I'm not really too worried about what they're going to do. I've seen it all, and then we prepare specifically. We're training 8 weeks out, but not we don't really get specific until about 4 weeks out, when we know that, okay, now it's getting closer. Now it's getting dialed in, because things can change up and go. So we focus on my weaknesses, my strengths, and then, like I said, 4 weeks out is when we really start dialing in the game plans and going over specific movements, what he does. And Dominic Cruz, as you do work in Fox as well, you guys watch hundreds and hundreds of fights. So, he's always in my ear. I'm one of his main training partners, sparring partners, and he always spits it real. If you know Dominic, he's good at giving constructive criticism, and I love hearing from that guy. He's a world class, true champion, and one of the best analysts that I consider one of the greats on there. So hearing from him is always well, and having him every day in my ear, in my corner, and inside the gym with me is a blessing.
Man, you sound like you're in a good place. We know you got a good team. Are you still down in San Diego, and how soon are you headed out to St. Louis?
Yep, still in San Diego, enjoying some great sunshine. It's actually getting warmer, really warm around here. It was cold for like about 2-3 weeks, and now it's starting to get really warm. And I head out to St. Louis. I got my long johns packed, and we head out Wednesday.
Yeah, it is cold down there, cold on that side of the country. It's nothing like California out there. I don't think I ever want to go back to even Texas is in the south, but man, it's cold everywhere but here in California and South Florida, so I love it. I'm staying here. I know you don't plan to go back to Iowa, do you?
I'm actually going back to Iowa right after the fight. I'm going to go back for a week. And
Why, Jeremy?
So cold.
Because that's where I'm from. That's where my family's at. My wife and kids, they're there now. They're enjoying a little bit of a winter break. They've gone back. They've been with my dad sledding and making snowmen and snow angels, enjoying tamales and pozole, some good Mexican eats. So I want to go back and enjoy some of those eats that I've been missing out on, and spend some good time, quality time with my family. My sister, she turns 40 like a week later, so it's going to be a good time, celebrating a good win and just having the family around. That's what I love most. That's one of my top priorities.
His wife is down there making tamales because it warms you up on the inside.
Yeah. Eve's knows.
I know. I love him. Jeremy, thank you so much for coming on, man. We would love to get you back after you get this W. You go out there and you smash it and you show us what it is, why the nickname Little Heathen applies.
You guys got it, man. I appreciate you guys having me, man. God bless you guys.
Good luck, Jeremy.
For sure, man. Take care. All the best.
Yep. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Okay.
That was awesome, right?
You like tamales, huh?
I like food. That's what I like. I like to eat all the time. Anyway, we'll see if maybe we'll try to sell some. We're going to sell some tamales on this commercial break.
Okay.
Let's see what we sell on this commercial break. Maybe we're going to have some tamales.
Maybe like old people and devices.